Okay, we have Miro here, and we have our next applicant in the Bitless Bridal Challenge, and that is the Bosal, or pronounced Bosal. And I've also heard the vaqueros always call it the Bosalia. So take your pick, whatever. But basically, it is a hard piece of wrapped rawhide that goes right over the top of the bone right here. And it's supposed to hit and make the majority of its contact right here at the top of the horse's head. Now, the difference between a Bosal and a side pull is this. Everything is right here down at the bottom. Now, that means that your lateral motion all comes from down here. So the big advantage of this is you're going to get a little bit more of a vertical flexation than a lateral flexation. But the main reason why you would work on this is mainly over here in the reins department. Now, a Bosal is mainly made as a step up to teach a horse how to neck rein. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over some groundwork, and then we're going to try this puppy out. This is the first time Miro has had a Bosal on, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of groundwork using the Bosal. Now, the first thing that I really like about it is really you've got yourself a built-in lead rope. And that is really nice. Now, if you're used to lunging your horse off of a rope halter, where everything comes from the bottom of the chin, then going to a Bosal is going to work out really nice for you. Now, the first thing I want to do is see how well he moves out. So if we're out somewhere, then I can go ahead and lunge him with this. So, as you can see, you can kind of, come on, if you need to, you can use your macate reins as a way to start lunging them. And I like to kind of go around side to side, make sure that he'll go. Come on, come on, go, go. There I go, got him to move out a little bit. He really didn't want to. He's feeling that from underneath his chin. But that's really all I wanted him to do was walk away from me. So really the first exercise is just make sure that you can lunge him, walk around. I may work at a trot later, but obviously I may have to have a little bit more reinforcement to get him going. Okay, so the next thing you want to find out is how well the horse will actually give to it. Now, because you're working with this type of rein, where the rein is actually going to be coming from the bottom here, you can't really pull the horse with a direct rein method like you would do with a Bosal or with a side pull. So instead, what you have to do is you have to see if the horse will give just with the lightest of pressure off the bottom of his nose. So you're going to reach down and you're going to ask him to just bump. And luckily, he's been doing this exercise so much that that's really not a problem. Come on, let's step forward a little bit. Step forward. Again, you want to make sure that the horse will give their nose to you, so it's not a foreign concept. Now, if they were to move around, you keep walking around, put your hand up on the saddle horn, and hold on until he quit walking. But obviously, he's already given to me, so that's working pretty well. What you do on one side, you have to do on the other. So I'm going to turn him around over here, go back to my safe zone over here, reach forward, and he already knows what the drill is. Good boy. He's really, he gives really easily. There we go. So we have been able to work his head and his neck. So first exercise is getting them to lunge with using your rope. Second is getting them to flex. Okay, now we're going to move the forehand. Now the forehand, what this is supposed to do is we're supposed to really work on our horse's ability to neck rein. And the forehand is going to be a great place to work on this. So the next exercise is going to be moving the forehand using indirect rein. So when I'm over here, I can put this extra piece up here on my saddle. I can just make it loop like that and then turn it around just like that. Put it over my saddle horn so it's not really making a difference. Okay, so I'm going to move the forehand by using my hand right here. and I'm just going to, there we go, bounce that rein on the neck. Okay, let me show you again. Ooh. All right. So to move the forehand, I'm going to make a loop right here, up in the center, but I'm going to be able to bounce. So that's button number 1 right here on the side, and I'm going to bounce my rein on his neck. Come on. See that bounce right there? That's the bounce that I'm talking about. So what we're doing is we're teaching him how to use indirect rein and move away from pressure using the Bosal. What you do on one side, you do on the other. Again, I'm going to take my rein in a loop. I'm going to put my hand down here, button number 1, which is in front of the girth, and I'm going to ask him to move his forehand. So tap, tap, tap. Come on. Cross. Hold on. Next one. Back him up. Back, 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 back. That's another thing. Back, back, back. You should be able to back with this as well. So back, and then move the forehand, which is going to be right here. Button number 1, and tap, cross, tap, cross, tap, and cross. So with the Bosal, you can really work on that. As you can see, you're not direct reining them, you're using that indirect rein. So that's a good groundwork exercise. All right, now moving the hindquarters is your last exercise. And again, it's going to take a bit of a direct rein because you want to tip the horse's nose towards you and then use button number 3, which will be back here behind your girth to move your horse. So take the rein, make a loop again, tip your nose, and button number 3, and cross, button number 3, and cross, button number 3, and cross. There you go. Let's walk forward. Come on. Yeah, I love it. When I ask him to do something, he's like, no, not going to do it. Come on. There you go. All right, other side. Make the cross. Button number 3. Come on. Come on. Do it. Cross. Come on. Cross. Come on. Cross. There we go. Now, I'm sorry I walked out of frame on that. Come on. Come on. But that wasn't exactly the nicest thing in the world. So we're going to work a little bit more on that. But you want to make sure that you can move your horse's head and neck. You can move your horse's forequarters, and you can move your horse's hindquarters with any kind of bit or any kind of thing that you're using. Like I said, with a Bosal, slightly different. And the next thing you're going to do is go for your ride. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. And if you enjoyed the video, give us a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And remember, if you want to see more, check out our playlist.